fans looking for action? Well, you'll get a big bang out of this.
Popeyes marks 10th Grand Prix with all new race facility and race course. 54 boats compete in New Orleans. Record attrition on Lake Pontchartrain. Last-minute course change results in safest Grand Prix ever. September race date awarded to St. Petersburg. Offshore fever sweeps the South. Today, Marine Machine takes us inside racing, where we'll learn how advances in safety equipment have helped reduce the number of fatal racing accidents. Midnight Express takes us behind the scenes into Popeyes Racing headquarters with throttleman Bob Idoni. Navidmaster Corporation introduces the Featured Race Team Series. We'll meet the husband and wife racing team known as Double Cross. Here's today's starting lineup. All this and more in this edition of the Offshore Powerboat Race Report.
APBA, the American Powerboat Association. It's challenge, fun, and excitement. Whether it's unlimited hydroplanes, offshore, outboard hydros and runabouts, inboard or drag, the APBA offers 9 categories of excitement. Racing, officiating, and just plain spectating are a few of the many benefits APBA membership affords you. Send your $30 and join the APBA today.
For dynamic racing action, don't miss our complete series. The Offshore Powerboat Racing Report is available at our video newsstands at each race site. Tapes for the current race are available for shipping within approximately 10 days of the race. Don't be left out. Order now. Visit our Babes video newsstand at the race site or call 305-386-1154 for more information.
The third stop on the 1989 APBA OPT circuit is New Orleans. This year marks the 10th anniversary of the Popeyes Offshore Grand Prix. Race sponsor Al Copeland, race chairman Mike Drury, and the people of New Orleans have pulled out all the stops to make this race a Cajun-style extravaganza. This edition, we are introducing a new season series, the Featured Race Team. Every future edition of the Offshore Powerboat Race Report will feature a close-up and personal look at a unique race team. The husband and wife team of Michael and Karen Cross are veteran stock boat racers and are currently running their first national racing campaign.
I was looking for somebody who could take the punishment and the abuse out there, and a few of my friends would always brag about it, and they couldn't handle it, and this and that. And then we had Karen in the boat, and she just didn't seem to ever really mind getting bounced around or didn't need to brag about it afterwards, and just was professional in her approach to go out there, and we are going to win, is what she would say. And the guys just couldn't cut the mustard, so I raced with my wife, and it's working out great.
You get out there, and it's just so exhilarating. In our first season, we had like 9 wins in a row, and just that checkered flag makes it all worth it.
The day before the race, a drivers' meeting lets drivers learn the specifics of the race course. Last-minute changes on the course have been made for safety, and the drivers must get acquainted with the new headings. In addition to the usual racing business, announcements of interest to the racing community were made. To everyone's disappointment, Al Copeland announced he would be sitting out the race due to insurance problems. Pete Hidalgo announced the entry of Babe Productions into the offshore home video market, and John Carbonell announced a special race event in Key West.
We will be putting on a $100,000 minimum price first special event in Key West, scheduled for 2 races, the 8th of November and the 11th of November. We're going to try some new innovative type of racing. We're getting input from the racers, we're getting input from the race producers and from the sponsors.
In the dry pits, crews detail their boats and get ready for inspection. Later, it's onto the crane and into the water. Lake Pontchartrain has a reputation as a real test of driving skill. This race course has 47 turns, more than any other race on the circuit. Race safety coordinator Dr. Bob Muller gave us this insight.
Lake Pontchartrain can get to be a very, very treacherous lake. It's a lake that can blow up in a matter of 5 or 10 minutes from a very calm condition to 6-foot seas. We had a race down here about 1982 in which everyone laughed at the conditions of Lake Pontchartrain. It was going to be like racing on a pond. And at the conclusion of the race, 50% of the boats sunk in Lake Pontchartrain here. So everyone down here that comes down year after year now has a great respect for Lake Pontchartrain.
Early morning race day, the race teams are still making routine checks and last-minute changes on their equipment. And we got a chance to talk to several of the racers about their strategies.
Well, we'll just have to see how rough it is. You know, we have a pretty good rough water boat. It's not the best, but we'll see how it is out there. Everyone says it's a lot rougher usually than it is, or it's a lot calmer than it usually is. So you never know till you really get out there, and we'll have to take it by the bull then.
Well, we're basically just trying to get the boat dialed in. It's a new Cougar. Making some changes on it. The bottom's a little bit different than what normal Cougars are, and we're just working with it. You know, we're trying to get dialed in. By the end of the year, we'll probably have it figured out. Mainly, what we got to do is just go out here and run and be consistent. That's what it's all about.
No, as you know, yesterday was the first time I put this boat in the water. And prior to that, I never even started a motor in it. And yesterday I ran it and made 2 little passes here. It seemed to run good. They tell me that the people that had the boat before that it doesn't like too much of a bounce, but if you get in flat water, it's a pretty fast boat. It seemed to run okay yesterday.
Well, I think the strategy is going to be to try to keep our boat running and keep up with the pack. That's going to be our strategy. But I also think the rougher water is going to make it more interesting for everyone out there, more competition.
Rougher the water, as you know, Pete, the better for the Shadow Cat. There's a lot of turning, so we're going to try to stay in maybe a little bit tighter and try to fight into turns and then do the best we can on the long legs.
Well, I'm kind of hoping it gets rough because usually we do pretty well and fare strongly in the rough water. John and I have a lot of experience running the boat together, and in the rough stuff, we usually prevail.
We're going to win. I don't think there's a doubt about that.
Lake Pontchartrain is historically one of the most dangerous courses on the circuit. Today will be the test to see which racers will incorporate any extra caution into their strategies. He caught up with referee Rick Sandstrom in the wet pits, and Rick had these predictions.
I'm on my way to the driver's meeting. How's the race course today?
Very good, very good. We're all set and ready to go.
What do the weather conditions look like?
Well, we've got a little front moving in, and hopefully we can get the race off before it gets here. It's about 100 miles to the west, but it's coming.
What does the water look like today?
Water looks pretty good. If we can keep the wind down, we'll be in pretty good shape.
Anything we got to look out for?
Well, the lake is real shallow here, so we get a lot of backwash off the bridge. It's a tricky course to navigate, but these guys are professional. They'll do it.
We'll be right back with the start of today's race after these messages.
Not all transom brackets are created equal. In fact, it can take 5 of theirs to equal 1 of ours. These days, everyone knows the installation of a transom bracket will improve both the looks and performance of your boat. The installation of a B bracket will prove you know better. B brackets, designed for those who know better.
Even though most people never need to use all the speed and performance Midnight Express is noted for, they like to know they could.
It's time to go on that midnight express. I ain't nothing less than the very best. On that midnight express. Just coming through.
Midnight Express. It takes one to catch one.
Welcome back to the Popeyes Offshore Grand Prix from New Orleans. The race course consists of one long lap followed by several medium and one short lap. Superboats and open class will be running 9 laps for a total of 159 miles. UIM2 and Pro Stock will run 7 laps for a total of 127 miles. Stock class runs 6 laps for 111 miles, and Sportsman's classes run 4 laps for a 79-mile race.
Popeyes Offshore Grand Prix is brought to you on video by Babe Productions. We'll be covering the race from the water on our boat cameras on Checkpoint 1 and Checkpoint 5. Our helicopter point of view camera will be covering the race from the air. As the boats line up for the start, we notice Special Edition dead in the water, Lucky Strike, RDS, and Chairman of the Board setting the pace right behind the pace boat. It looks like Spirit of America's got off to a bad start. At checkpoint number 1, Chairman of the Board really looks good as he stretches his lead. He's followed closely by number 89 RDS and number 45 Lucky Strike right on their tail. Dirty Laundry, Eric's Reality, and Little Caesar's Pizza are about 10 seconds behind. Number 55, Chairman of the Board, is still leading the field and is followed by RDS. The waters between Checkpoint 2 and Checkpoint 4 can really be choppy once these boats race through it. It's a confused chop that can be very treacherous in this part of the course. Number 89 RDS is trimmed out nicely and running well over 100 miles per hour. This boat is a 45-foot custom-powered Apache. In the last few races, Apaches have been holding their own even in flat water. Imagine what's going to happen when these boats get into some rough water races. Dirty Laundry is currently running in third place in open class. Ahead of him are chairman of the board and number 22, Maxon. This 36-foot cougar is starting to look better each race. They're making a lot of bottom changes, and the boat seems to be using its tunnel more efficiently. Dirty Laundry is owned and driven by Joe Mock and throttled by Hurley Stepp. Joe Mock is the defending UIM2 national and world champion. Hurley Stepp is in charge of dialing in this 36-foot Cougar Sprint catamaran, and he's done a great job. They have an experienced crew led by Smitty, and they're now heading out between checkpoint 6 and 1, which is the long leg of the course. This is where all the casualties have occurred on past races. Right now, they're trimmed out perfectly in this 1 to 2 foot chop. They're in a good position to make up time and move up from third place. Dirty Laundry is powered by two 760 horsepower Lightning engines and key caver drives. Number 15, Spirit of America, is a 35-foot Jaguar. Some experts claim that this is the fastest haul-in open class. Because of their weight and size, they are what you might call a super sprint catamaran. Spirit of America is powered by Gentry motors and key caver drives. This is a combination we're seeing a lot of in open class and superboat class this year. The boat is driven by John Antonelli, the 1987 Open Class Rookie of the Year. He had a tremendous season that year and almost became national champion. Spirit of America is throttled by Jack Clark, owner of Jaguar Marine, where speed is the middle name. This cat is really turning on its speed through this 1 to 2 foot chop. John Antonelli had bad luck in 1988 season, but it looks like he's making a comeback this year. Hawk Marine Power is a 37-foot V-hull cigarette. Manny Fernandez is on the throttles, John Tomlinson is driving, and navigator is Ed Shear. This boat is trimmed very well as they are trying to get everything out of it they can in this deep V bottom. There just isn't enough chop to get this V-bottom to break loose and really go. Here's a perfect example of how the catamarans are taking advantage of the water conditions today. This boat is powered by Hawk Marine racing engines and Merc Cruiser drives. Number 26, Hawk Marine Power, is currently running in fourth place in open class. Apache Trader, whoa! Better watch out, guys. The Trader just got caught by one of the classic rollers that wasn't supposed to be there, and they made a great recovery. job by the driver, Tom Core, and throttleman, Herb Stetler. Wally Smith is the navigator. They could have easily spun out in that situation, and it seems they have slowed them down a little bit. A bad accident can occur when a boat is trimmed out all the way for speed and wave conditions change suddenly without a warning. This team handled that potentially dangerous situation very well. M10 Agitator is really making up speed. They're running in second place behind Team Skater in UIM2 class. Agitator is current UIM2 national points leader, and they're showing us why they are. The Duttmans are a father and son race team. Father Alan Duttman is driving and son Kirk Duttman is throttling the boat. They campaigned in pro stock for a number of years before moving up to the highly competitive UIM2 class. Alan Duttman was the 1985 Pro Stock Rookie of the Year. Agitator is a 32-foot skater catamaran. This boat is known for its ability to run in this kind of water, and this race team is known for their ability to run this boat. We can see the Pro Stock boat's number 75 Ocean Outboard is being pursued by number 88 Miss Don Q. Rum. Number 8 Hawk Marine Power is Craig Berry's 39-foot Conquest catamaran. It's currently in 7th place in open class. This is a brand new boat for Craig, and he's working all the bugs out of it. It won't be long before he's back up running with the leaders. Our boat cam on checkpoint 5 shows us number 55, chairman of the board, is back from his long leg and stretching his lead. He's even ahead of the superboats. RDS is still running in form, the first superboat back in. Eric's Reality is starting to catch up time. Lucky Strike is Phil Mashinsky's new sponsor, and he's running well in 3rd place in superboats. Number 69, Little Caesars Pizza, is in 4th position in superboat class. Dirty Laundry is in 2nd place in open class behind chairman of the board. Spirit of America is making a safe turn, what is probably the easiest turn on the course to do a spin out. Number 26, Hawk Marine Power, is pursuing the leaders from 4th place. Apache Trader is running 5th in open class and makes a fast turn. M32, Team Skater, is really turning it on. He's coming right up there into the middle of the open class boats. Agitator is running in 2nd place in UIM2. Here comes number 8, Hawk Marine Power, followed closely by Miss Don Q. Rum, the leader in Pro Stock. Following closely is Ocean Outboard P75. P555 First Defense is a 32-foot Douglas skater running in 3rd place in Pro Stock class. High Risk is in 4th place in Pro Stock. P27 Risky Business is running 5th place in Pro Stock. Eastern Express is currently running in 3rd place in UIM2 behind Team Skater and Agitator. Here comes Low Bid running 6th place in Pro Stock. Special Edition, after losing 7 minutes at the start, is running dead last in open class and is playing catch-up. M89, Bad to the Bone, is running 4th place in UIM2 class. S1, Ocean Outboard, leads in stock class. Here comes number 99, Skater Express, followed by S54, Vigilante Racing. Number S6, Sunfire, is next with number S4, Double Cross, right on their tail. East Coast Racing makes a move on Conch Attack as they pass the buoy. Between checkpoints 2 and 4, we see the calm water part of the race course. Here we see an all-out drag race with the drag masters of them all, Tony Caligari and Ocean Outboard, and Juan Sorales of Miss Don Q. Rum. Tony and Juan are going at it as they pass Agitator, who seems to be down on power. It looks like the Sorales brothers and Miss Don Q. Rum got a better hand today. He's starting to pull ahead of Tony and Ocean Outboards. Rest assured, this race isn't over between these two today. Miss Don Q. Rum is passing Apache Trader and running 1st in Pro Stock. Throttleman Felix and driver Juan Sorales are really starting to stretch their lead over other P-class boats. This is a 32-foot skater running in lap average of almost 90 miles an hour. Special Edition is really on a roll. He's running almost 120 miles an hour out here. We've got our helicopter up full boost and can't even keep up with him. The airspeed indicator is 121 miles an hour, and he's leaving us down there. After a bad start, that cost him 7 minutes due to fuel problems. JD and John D'Elia have really been pushing this boat to the limit. This is another father and son race team. They are currently open class national champions. Father John D'Elia drives and son JD is the throttle man. John was two-time national world champion in UIM2 class before he switched to open class. There's a lot of championship experience in that boat. As fast as Miss Don Q Rum is running, it's not fast enough to keep Special Edition from pouring it on and breezing by him. The D'Elias make it look as effortless as a Sunday drive. Charles Marks in Eric's Reality is just now making the turn, moving toward checkpoint number 1. RDS is now in second place in Superboat class. Little Caesar's Pizza is running third place in Superboat, and Lucky Strike is in fourth place. Spirit of America is in second place in open class with Dirty Laundry less than 5 seconds behind. Number 8, Hawk Marine Power takes the turn wide. Here comes Special Edition, still running behind but catching up. Here comes P555, Mike Novick in first defense. Charles Marks in Eric's Reality is in fine form. You can hear these motors are in cruise mode. They're passing the spectator area along Lakeshore Drive, passing all the smaller class boats. Throttle man Bobby Moore is really using strategy by running just ahead of the competition. It looks like the strategy that has been working for him all year could be working for him again and bring him a third in a row victory. We'd like to remind our viewers that if you have any good race stories, pictures, or videos, send them to Babe. She wants to put them in her program. Give Babe a call at 386-1154 in Miami. That's fun, 1154 in Miami. You too can be a Babe reporter. We want to hear from you, so give us a call.
We'll return to the race after our feature story. Inside Racing is brought to you by Marine Machine, where the quality never stops. Terry Hill from Panama Jack Race Team demonstrates the latest safety features that are designed to save lives in offshore racing accidents.
And then you cinch down. Depending on how rough the water is, how tight you pull down. Simply grab, pull down, it locks you in. The only thing that moves are your hands, your feet, and your head. The helmets we wear are full face with an intercom system that plugs in. And the canopy systems, it's hard to communicate back and forth without some type of communication. We use an intercom by BoatCom. You can hear very well at high speeds. It's like talking to them on a telephone. Basically, the protection is from front, the sides, and back protection. The boat were to roll over, water's deflected around the shield over the driver's head. To get out in case of an accident, simply reach down, the buckles rotate, the belts pop apart, find your location point, and extract yourself out of the boat.
Do you think the safety features you have on the boat now would have helped you during your accident before?
Most definitely. In our case, we came off a wave. The boat launched, rolled in sideways, threw me out over the top. My brother, who was driving, was on the low side. The boat rolled over on top of him, and he rolled out from underneath of it, and consequently got the worst injuries. If we'd have been strapped in, neither one of us would have been thrown out, and the deflection from around the canopies would have kept us from getting the impact of the water. At 100 miles an hour, hitting the water, you know, most people think, well, water's soft, but at 100 miles an hour, it's about equivalent to jumping out of a two-story building on the concrete. The impact is very severe, and it hurts.
Today, Midnight Express takes us behind the scenes into Popeye's race headquarters. Race team managing director Bob Idoni talks to us about the world's most famous offshore race team.
We try to be the innovators of the latest technology, trying to be 1 year ahead of everybody else.
We have both sides. There's one on each side of the boat that's actually glued into the sponson. It was built outside. It's all composite with carbon fiber and Kevlar. The canopy is an F-16 canopy, which is bolted as an integral part of the safety cell. Theoretically, if we crash, the boat should be able to disintegrate around us, but we'll be safely strapped into this canopy, similar to a roll cage in a car.
I'd say it's harder to stay at the top once you get there, because when you're at the top, then everybody, it's a concerted effort to knock you from the top. To get there, you're only battling that one objective, whereas once you're at the top, then you have everybody battling you to knock you off, and they know what equipment you're using, and they have those objectives. That's why we're always trying to be a year ahead of everything to keep us on top.
Catch the spray. Call today. Want to get involved? Participant, sponsor, spectator, or fan. Call today while you can. Buy a rig off the shelf or custom build one to your specifications. Offshore racing, inboard, outboard, diesel. It's yours for the asking. Catch the spray. Call today.
There's a certain group of hard-working, hard-playing adventurers who take their recreation very seriously. They seek all the thrills and excitement life has to offer. The evidence of their enthusiasm for adventure is all around us in the form of the recreational vehicles they use in pursuit of a good time. Speedboats, glider planes, motorcycles, and jet skis. At last, the underwater adventure seeker comes into his own with the advent of Sports Sub. If you're one of the new breed and you're ready for the ultimate in underwater action, plunge into adventure in a Sports Sub. It's the personal submersible for the new frontier.
Welcome back to the exciting conclusion of the 10th annual Popeyes Offshore Grand Prix.
Passing the spectator area along Lakeshore Drive, passing all the smaller boats. Charles Marks in Eric's Reality is in fine form. Panama Jack from Sportsman D class is running strong in second place behind D87 Hooters. As they head down to turn number 5, this boat is really looking good. This 31-foot Conquest is one of George Linder's one-step design catamarans. George Linder is successful designer behind Shadowcat and Chris Craft catamarans. With the success he's had with those hulls, we can probably expect to see great things from this Conquest Cat. Panama Jack is powered by triple 265 horsepower Mercuries. The driver is John Carbona and the throttle man is Terry Hill. Two years ago, Terry and his brother were nearly killed in a serious racing accident right here in New Orleans. Since then, he's come back to race last year in Pro Stock class. The boat's sponsor, Panama Jack, has invested a lot of money into the ultra high-tech safety equipment to protect the race team. Driver John Carbona used to be the crew chief of the Raja offshore race team, which set many kilo and course speed records. Right now, he's trying to catch up with his old mentor, Raja Rogers, who's running first place in Sportsman's D class. We're catching more racing action out of turn 6, heading back to 4A. We have a drag race going on here between some of the UIM2 and Pro Stock boats. Eastern Express is running very strong in third place in UIM2 class at this point of the race. The driver is Joe Bresciami and the throttle man is Werner Brosler. They're handling the course conditions very well in this 30-foot Shadowcat. Eastern Express is followed closely by Pro Stock boat class P71 High Risk. High Risk is currently running in third place in his class. The driver is John Engel and his throttle man is Richard Felsen. They're running triple 350 horsepower Mercuries on this 32-foot skater. Some of the pro stock boats are said to be running over 110 miles an hour, and right now we are flying very close to that. Number 60, Eric's Reality, now has a strong lead in Superboat class. Chairman of the board is out of the race, and Eric's Reality leads the field. Here comes RDS in second place. These guys must be really tired of eating Eric Reality wake by now. They're pushing ahead. Little Caesar's Pizza is trying to catch the leaders. Lucky Strike is running fourth place in Superboat class. Open class leader Spirit of America passes checkpoint number 1. Number 26, Hawk Marine Power V-Bottom is in second place in open class. Panama Jack is in second place, trying to close the gap on the leader, Hooters. Bad to the Bone is a new race team on the circuit. Driver Jose Leyva and throttle man Richard Conti are running this 33-foot Express Cat. These guys are starting to show that they can be very competitive in the UIM2 class. This boat looks very good. That big tunnel is really packing in some air, and Bad to the Bone has been running well for its size and weight all day long. They're currently running in fourth place in UIM2. Our boat camera at checkpoint number 5 catches Eric's Reality still leading the Superboat class. Here comes P, Risky Business, running in fourth place in Pro Stock. Number 89, RDS Apache, is holding in there at second place in Superboat class. P12, Low Bid, is running in fifth place in Pro Stock. Number 69, Little Caesar's Pizza, is running third place in Superboat. Number 45, Lucky Strike, is currently running fourth place in Superboat class. Number 15, Spirit of America, is number 1 in open class. M37 Skater Express is in first place in UIM2 class. Here comes S40 Conch Attack from sports class. Number S240 East Coast Racing is followed by S4 Double Cross. US1 Special Edition is still picking up time and has moved all the way up into second place in open class. Miss Don Q Rum is the leader in Pro Stock. Lady L is a Sportsman's B-class boat driven by Anthony Lucaro and throttled by Peter Meyer. They are running in great form and they're dominating the entire Sportsman's B field. This is a 28-foot signature deep V powered by twin 400 horsepower Chevy inboards. Right now it looks like they have a solid lead. In Sportsman C-class, Endangered Species has been dominating for this entire race. It's a V-bottom 30-foot Sutphen flying with twin 600 horsepower Innovation Marine engines. Driver Clay Wilson and throttleman Rick Lamore have one of the most distinctive sports class boats on the circuit. Endangered Species has many safety features that are more common to the professional level of race boats. These guys did a great job on safety, and from the looks of it, I'd say speed as well. Compared with the stock class boats, which are capable of speeds in the mid-90s, Endangered Species is putting on quite a show. As we catch up to Charles Marks in Eric's Reality, he's still running in the fast enough cruise control mode that Bobby Moore is famous for. This boat is an example of machinery working in perfect harmony. The boat is working flawlessly, and a great credit to Bobby Moore and his mechanics. Eric's Reality seems to be a shoe-in for a win again in this race, unless he breaks down. The way the boat has been running, that seems very unlikely. Checkboat 1 sees Eric's Reality scream by, alerting the scorekeeper that the rest of the field will be coming soon. At least the ones that haven't broken yet. There's a great deal of attrition in this race today. Little Caesar's Pizza tears past in the last effort to take the lead. The second place contest for the Superboat class has really heated up. We catch up with RDS and Little Caesar's Pizza in the middle of a great race. They're really doing some racing. Little Caesar's Pizza is making up some time and challenging RDS for that second spot. We're really seeing some racing here. It's unbelievable. These two boats are 47 and 45 feet long. They're running on the last 5 to 7 feet of their hulls. It really says a lot about the Apache hull design. It's unbelievable how steady they are in these high seas. This is a test between the naturally aspirated motors on RDS versus the blower motors on Little Caesars Pizza. It looks like Little Caesars has an edge and is starting to stretch out his lead on RDS. It looks like this race is going to go on through the entire last lap. At this point, it's hard to tell who's going to win between these two boats. We're catching up to Charles Marks in Eric's Reality. Eric's Reality leads the field. Throttle man Bobby Moore is really using strategy by running just ahead of the competition. It looks like the strategy that's been working for him all year could be working for him again to bring him a third win in a row. We've had some major attrition on this course today. Out of 54 boats that started today's race, there are only 37 left in the running. The past 5 years have shown us some tough race conditions here. Today was a lot calmer than we're used to seeing. With 47 turns on this course, acceleration has been a big deciding factor. Propellers are the key. We're finding out who had the formula of the correct diameter and pitch to accelerate out of the turns and still not suffer on the top end. Eric's Reality is the first superboat to the finish line. Here comes S12 Thin Ice running in the last lap in stock class. Number S125 Assault is looking good in their 25-foot motion catamaran. Number S22 Misbehavin' is bringing up the rear in stock class. Number 26, Hawk Marine Power, is now running in third place in open class. Number 15, Spirit of America, has averaged 105 miles an hour on this lap. Miss Don Q. Rum takes the number 1 position in Pro Stock. First Defense is second place in Pro Stock. High Risk is coming in third place in Pro Stock. RDS regained its lead from Little Caesars Pizza and is now in second place in Superboat class. Agitator leads UIM2 class. Special Edition finished second place in open class, finishing an unbelievable minute and a half behind the leader. Here's S40 Conch Attack from the stock class. P12 Low Bid is in fourth place in Pro Stock. Risky Business and Ocean Outboard are still neck and neck. Vigilante Racing is running fourth place in stock class. The boats are pulling off the course at the end of the race and getting ready to pick up their flags. We'd like to remind our viewers that if you have any good race stories, pictures, information, or videos, send them to Babe. She wants to put them in her show. Give Babe a call in Miami at 386-1154. That's fun, 1154 in Miami. You can be a Babe reporter too.
What an exciting race. Let's take a look at the finals while the winners pick up their flags. Superboat winners are Eric's Reality, RDS, and Little Caesars Pizza. Open class winners are Spirit of America, Special Edition, and number 26, Hawk Marine Power. UIM2 winners are Team Skater, Agitator, and Bad to the Bone. Pro Stock winners, Miss Don Q. Rum, First Defense, and High Risk. Stock class winners are Hat Trick, Skater Express, and Conch Attack. Sportsman A winners are Turn of the Century, Shortcut, and Exxon. Sportsman B winners are Lady L, Gone Again, and Turn of the Century. Sportsman C winners are Endangered Species, The Heat Is On, and Lip Ship. And Sportsman D winners are Hooters, Panama Jack, and Castaway. Babe Productions would like to thank the APBA OPT and the Southern Offshore Racing Association for helping us bring you the Popeyes Offshore Grand Prix on video. We hope you've enjoyed the race and that you'll continue to follow the offshore action throughout the year. We'd like to remind our viewers that Babe Productions is the only video company officially sanctioned by the APBA. We'll be bringing the excitement of every race on the APBA OPT circuit right into your home with 11 editions of the Offshore Powerboat Race Report. You can keep up with the racing action all year long. The next checkered flag is just a tape away.